Hey everybody, welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie and I'm tuning in from Orlando, Florida. If you saw my stories, I'm in Orlando with my entire family. So my parents, my two sisters, my brother, all of the in-laws, and then 14 grandkids. We are staying here for a last summer family vacation. It's been so fun. A lot of you have actually asked where we're staying. So we're staying at something called the Treehouse Mansion. It is in Orlando. And so it's incredible. It's our last week of summer and it's already super fun. And I'm hiding away in my bedroom so I can do a live with you. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? I wanted to give you a thought because I was reading this morning, actually a couple thoughts about vacation or just life in general, the power of consistency, I would say mindset, food, anything. Oftentimes, I would just say this, who feels like they live a busy life? Anybody? And I think people think busy is bad. I don't think busy is bad at all. I like to say when people say, oh my goodness, Stephanie, I haven't seen you in a while, or what have you been up to? And I always say, I'm productively busy. I've been productively busy because we, not just I, my husband and I, our family has been really working on saying yes to the things that are important to our family and no to the things that they might not be important, but they might just not be a yes right now, right? So working on yes and no's and we might be busy, but we're busy with the things that our family sees value in, that we want to focus on, productive, right? And so first of all, I get questions all the time, especially when we're traveling, like, do you stay on track? What are you doing? Do you still read? Yes, and all of the yeses. I'm not going to say I'm ever perfectly strict keto, but what our family does is we do the best that we can. So simple things like drinking water and drinking my ketones and choosing bacon over donuts. There's just different things that you can do to choose better if you want to, right? I'm not saying that you have to. I'm not saying if you go on vacation that you can't splurge. It's your own choice. And as we travel and as we do different things, I still get up in the morning. I still read. I got up in the morning and was reading my Bible, and my dad was like, tell him, what's the lesson for today, right? And so I got up and I said, I get to go do my live. I have been distracted this morning, talking to my siblings and loving on the kids. Our daughter Eliza turned 11 today. Emery turned 13 yesterday. Our other daughter Amelia turns 15 in 10 days. So we've got birthdays all over the place. So I was reading this book this morning. I was having some good conversations and I wanted to read a couple things to you to help you on your journey. Wherever you're at, just some things to think about. Here on the KetoMOM page, you can always go to ketomomsecrets.com for recipes, how to get started, book club, and anything else that you need. You can continue to tune into the page. We share recipes all day long, different tips and tricks. You can click on the stories feature. I think I'm actually having issues with the stories being shared from Instagram to Facebook. So if you're on Instagram, pop over there, check out what our family's doing. My hope is to inspire you, to encourage you, to give you some tips and tricks along the way and throughout my day. Not just like a post, but like, hey, here's a great option. Hey, don't forget to drink your water. We're in Florida. We're used to being in Minnesota. I just yelled at everybody in the pool. Please stay hydrated. So just being mindful, and I would say the same thing for you. Stay hydrated. All right, here's a couple things I was reading this morning, and I wanted to share with you. So I'm reading out of this book right now. I'm going to start a new book in September. I'm just not 100% sure what I'm going to do. My hope is to help you with your mindset, to make better choices, to make you understand that you are worth it, you are worthy. There's more to your health journey than just food. There's more to losing fat, to getting healthy, to feeling stronger than just the food you put in your mouth. And why that's super important, it has to do with your thinking, the feelings you're feeling, how to control your emotions, to have gratitude. There's so many things that if you were to just make a couple different shifts in your life, you would make better food choices. Interesting thought, right? Here's a couple thoughts for you this morning or afternoon. I guess it's afternoon, isn't it? Don't reinvent the wheel. The fastest way to achieve everything that you want is to model successful people who have already done it. We've talked about that on here. With an almost infinite amount of books, podcasts, anything that you can Google, that's available to you on every single topic that you want to learn from. There's no limit to the knowledge that you can gain through reading or listening. That's number one. I've said that many times. I reread that this morning and I thought, I'm going to share that. Next, I want to talk about something called the gap focus. How many people make a list? Do any of you make lists of throughout the day? Like in the morning, I make a list. I want to get all the things done. Got 10 things to do today. Is there any list makers on here? Tell me if you're a list maker. Say yes if you're a list maker. So he says one of the traps that people fall into, not even just on a daily basis, but on a weekly, monthly, and a yearly basis, is called gap focus. Is it helping or is it hurting? Here's what I mean. He says human beings are conditioned to have what is called gap. They're gap focused. So, hi. Dad went to pick up Jared at the airport. It's fine. All right. So, human beings are conditioned to have what is called gap focused. We tend to focus on the gap between where we are at in life, so where you are today, and where you want to be, right? So you are where you are today. We've got goals. Here's where I want to be. He says between what we've accomplished and what we could have or want to accomplish, and the gap between who we are and our idealistic vision of the person we want to become. The gap in between where we are today and where we want to be. The problem with that is this, that constant gap focus, if you're constantly focusing on right here, right? If you're focused on in the middle, if you're focused on the stuff that you don't want to go through, but that's a part of it. He says, if you're focused on the gap focus, it can be detrimental to our confidence and our self-esteem because it causes us to feel that we don't have enough, we haven't accomplished enough, and that we are simply not good enough, or at least not good enough, not as good as we should be. And so, hold on, there was something else I wanted to read. There's a whole bunch of stories. Basically, it says typically when a day, a week, a month, or a year go by and you're so gap focused, it's almost impossible to maintain an accurate assessment of ourselves. What he's doing is this. He's like, I need you to write down your goals. I need you to write down the 10 things that you want to do in a week or a month. And then what happens is you look at that checklist and you might get to the end of the day or the end of the week and go, man, I didn't accomplish 3 things. And you get so fixated on those 3 that you didn't do that it frustrates people. And he goes, why are we focusing on the mess ups throughout the day or the month when we could be celebrating the 100 good things that you did or the 5 good things that you did or the better choices that you did? Because the gap is what causes people to quit. The gap is what causes people to not believe in themselves and to get frustrated and give up. He says the majority of people do dozens, even hundreds of things right during the day and a few things wrong. Guess which things people remember and they replay over and over in their mind. Is this you? Has this ever been you? He said, doesn't it make more sense to focus on the 100 things that you did right and not the 10 things that you missed? The 5 things that you did right today, but not the 1 or 2 things that you maybe made not the best choice? What does this have to, so he talks about journaling. He talks about writing things down. He talks about looking at your life and giving it a plus because it benefits you, a negative if it doesn't benefit you, being productively busy and doing the right things, making the better choices. And if you track throughout your day and you celebrate the things that you did and you look at the things that you missed or weren't serving you, either get rid of it or celebrate and then focus on that the next time. Don't be so gap focused that it causes you to go down the spiral of I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I missed these 2 things, I made this wrong choice. I say it often to people. I'll say, just because you messed up this morning, and whatever mess up means to you, just because you made, let's say, not the best choice, or you went through the drive-thru, or maybe you skipped the workout, or maybe you didn't write down in your gratitude journal this morning, maybe you yelled at your kid, maybe whatever you did doesn't have to wreck the rest of your day. That one little thing in that gap between this morning and tonight doesn't have to wreck the rest of your day or the rest of your meals or your mindset, because you have to be able to go, look at all the things I did right, or I'm going to do the rest of the day how I want to do it. I'm going to take control. All right, here's the deal. If you have questions, you can ask questions below. It's harder for me to read them as I'm doing lives, but I'll come back and I'll send you a private message. You can always message me with questions. And there's one more thing I wanted to read to you. He says, everything is difficult before it gets easy. Every new experience is uncomfortable before it gets comfortable. The more you practice, the more you take action, the more you get yourself to be uncomfortable, right? It will become a normal practice later on down the road. So if you're like, I'm struggling getting my water intake, I'm struggling going to the gym, I don't even like the word struggle. Let's talk about a challenge. Challenge is better, right? Here's what I want you to know. Don't be so gap focused between where you are and where you want to be that you like get in your mindset and then you quit. The only way you fail is if you quit. And let's celebrate the things you're doing right. So maybe take inventory today and go, I'm doing this right. I got up earlier today. I drank my water and I took the bun off my burger. Celebrate, right? I went to the gym. Maybe you didn't do what you actually wanted, but instead of focusing on like, I wanted to be there an hour and I could only last 15 minutes, celebrate the 15 minutes. Does that make sense? So don't be so gap focused that it all of a sudden takes you out and makes you quit. All right, this is the book that I'm going through to give you some little insight throughout the morning or afternoon. That is all. So it's called The Miracle Morning for those people who keep asking. I'm going through The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. The Miracle Morning. Hal Elrod, an incredible book. Thank you for tuning in. Continue to tune in. Reach out with questions that you have. I would love for you to press the share button. Sharing is caring. And I hope you have an incredible day. I'm super excited. I'm having a fun time in Orlando with my family, and we have so many more days to come. So you can go click on Keto Mom Secrets on Instagram and watch the stories. I think sometimes the stories work on Facebook on Keto Mom. Otherwise, have an incredible day. Know I'm here to help you. Your presence matters, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.